Alright guys, well part 2 of this video is going to be looking at the details up close of this little Chinese 64 Polara. Built Maverick Golden. Hot dog, huh? Alright, here's the thing, look at the roof. You see all the, like, when they cast the body, how much, it's almost like there's dirt. A lot of rough stuff in here. You see that? So I'm going to try to sand some of that out. Hood's not too bad, it's got some marks in it. I mean, here's the problem with me, is that I'm going to go full on into this thing. I'm just not going to just strip it and just paint it and stick it back together. It's got some problems and it can be made a whole lot nicer. If you look down the side of it, you can see there's a lot of just rough cast marks in the body. Gail pointed something out interesting to me. If you look at this side, it says Orange County Dodge Dealers, right? And then you flip it over. And then they screwed up the dealer's part. So it has, I thought this was a roll bar, but it looks like it's for the wing window. Or it looks like it could be for a wing window because there's a piece of glass behind it. And it's got the 500 roof, which the real Maverick does not. It's a 330 roof. So a mistake in our favor. So tonight's plan is just to go over all the little details of the car so you guys can get a real close view of what this thing looks like. We pointed out that the hood scoop is now it's crooked, so they need to make that straight. But I noticed that the windshield glass doesn't fit in. Look at the gap. Look at that gap. It's like the glass wasn't even put in correctly. Look at it from through the window. You can actually see the glass isn't pushed up all the way. So that's going to get fixed when we take it apart. It'll fit better in the back too. So another thing I noticed about this thing is look at the front bumper, how it sticks out. It looks like somebody squeezed the thing and its eyeballs are popping out. This is supposed to be flush with the body. But you can see all the like real rough marks here. So what I'm going to have to probably do is maybe sand some of this off and move the bumper back to fit into the front so it looks right. We won't know that till we get it apart. Because what I have to do is I've got to drill out that rivet and that rivet, which I'm just going to do by hand. And then we'll take the body off and we'll have a look at the interior because it has bucket seats in it. I can't wait to look at it. I can't wait to see what on the inside. And the back bumper fits pretty good. You know, I'm not really too fussy about the back bumper. It seems like okay. It could have a little bit of that, you know, slag right there, that casting slag cleaned off and wet sanded off so it makes the body nicer. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to get my drill out. I'm going to do this with my hand. I'm going to use a watchmaking tool. I'm going to put a drill bit in there and I'm going to hand drill it out. And then in a next video, which will be in a few seconds, we'll look at it. We'll take the body off. So I'll see you there. Alright, it's time. I've got the rivets drilled out. So now it's time to remove the body off the car. Hot dog, look at that, guys. Let's do the interior first. Let's have a look at this dashboard here. Look at that. Well, there's the seats. And they're actually, look at that, they're even detailed. That's cool. So we got bucket seats. Look, there's even a shifter. They even put a shifter in there. So there's the seats. That's not bad. That's not bad. We can work with that. We can make that work. We'll come back to the seats in a second. And the dashboard. Oh no, that thing is... It's bent. Look at it. They bent it right here. Look at that. It doesn't even fit right. There are the wheels. Got the wheels there. And then the dashboard. Looks like it's glued in barely. It's so piss poor. Look at that. It's got these little tits that stick out. And there's where it goes. But we've got a steering wheel, right? Hot dog. Look how cute that is. There's even some gauges there. Look, they're round. That must be the performance gauges because the 64's got like this long speedometer. Alright, well there's the dash. And the chassis, there are the bumpers. So that's how they've attached them. So in order to make those fit, you can take them off. There's the front bumper. And look at the back bumper stuck in the same way. That was easy. It wasn't glued. That's a good thing. That's positive. That's positive. We're not going to do anything with the chassis. So let's have a look at the body. So there's where the hood scoop is, and then I see it's drilled, or it's riveted here. But the glass just does not fit up in there right. Something just don't fit right. It's just poor. So what I'm going to probably do is I'm going to drill these out, take the glass out, and then I'll refit it nicer into the car, because it won't go up any further. It's just, that's where it is. So we're going to make those modifications, because that drives me crazy. Look at that. We don't want a gap like that. Gonna make this right. If we're gonna do this, let's do it right, right? So now that the bumper is off, how is it gonna fit in there? Well, that fits a lot better when it's tucked back in there. So we're gonna have to get creative and move this back into there so it fits right. I at least like to get it flush if I can. You know, it looks a whole lot better than it did. So I'll play with that and I'll get that fitted so that fits more flush. And then the rear bumper itself, it's not too bad. I don't think we're going to have to worry about that too much. It's a pretty decent fit already. But you know, you can see there's like a burr there. So I'll just clean all that stuff up. Dress this area here so everything fits real nice. So there's the body. So, yep, it looks like the hood scoop is glued in there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock this out next. Drill these out, take the glass out, and then I'll come back to you and I'll show you what I got to deal with when it comes to the hood. Because the body's definitely going to have to be prepped nicer for paint. So let's get to that in a second. So let me be right back. Alright, next stop. I took it out to the garage and I drilled out the glass, which is right here. And the back part was pretty tough to get out, but it's so fragile. So what I'm going to use on this is some stuff to polish watch crystals to get that glass nice and clear. And we'll come back to this and fit this in the body better after it's been painted. We'll just, or you know what, maybe it might be a good idea to try to fit it now. Well, what I think what I'm going to do first, yeah, it probably is better to try to do all the fitment work before the body's painted. That way it's all done prior to the paint job, because then you don't have to worry about fussing the body up, right? So I just sprayed some toluene, some brake cleaner all over it, and it started to eat the paint off. So I think what I'm going to do now is probably dress up all the burrs and everything, all the real crappy cast marks in it. And then once I get that all done, then I'll probably soak the body and strip it down to bare metal. And then from there, I'll do any fine finish work I need to do on the, you know, the doors and the roof and the roof and the hood. This I'm gonna have to fill with body filler, because that's how they put the hood scoop on. They drilled 2 massive holes in it. So I don't know. I don't want to put the hood scoop back on because it's not right. So we're gonna probably fill this. Gets rid of that problem. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So next time I see you, we're gonna have a stripped body. And then I'll start working on these, dressing up this frame a little bit. I've got some diamond files I'll use to clean this up real good, and we'll take the next step and get the body stripped. So see you again shortly. Alright guys, well here's what I used. I used a diamond file to go in here and to dress up everything here in the windshield pillar. They were like rough. Remember how much in the earlier video, remember how it was all like scaly here? So I filed all that out, dressed up with some stuff here. The hood had a whole lot of casting marks here. Once I get the paint off, I'll be able to look at it. I remember I was saying to you guys earlier about hoping this piece of 500 trim is on here. Look at that. It goes all the way back. I was hoping they weren't going to cut it off here to put the scoop on, so we just got to close these holes up, but then the trim stays. And then there were some rough edges in here. I cleaned all out. Where the glass sits up here, I cleaned that area out. I'm going to do a little more work to that one. Where the wing window is. And then back here, I got some area here. This was a little bit low, so it's like that was the way it was made. So I don't know if I want to take too much off. not get too carried away. There was a little bit of dressing I did here. Back here where the bumper fits into the body, that's not bad. I did clean a little bit of that up, but we'll see how that goes. But the brake cleaner pretty much stripped off all of the decals and the paints. I can feel it's getting soft. So now that I got most of the burrs out, I think before I fit the glass in here, I want to strip the paint off so I can get a better fitment on that glass. I think fitting the parts up now is the smart way to go about doing it. Because like in the real world, when you restore a car, you want to do all the fitment stuff first, make sure everything lines up real nice before you shoot the paint. So seems like the smart thing to do with our little mini Farah here. So right now, I'm going to take this thing and go dunk it in some straight toluene. And then the next time you see it, the body will be stripped, and then we'll start fitting all the pieces back together, making sure everything fits right, and then off to Ray. Alright, see you again shortly. Alright, this is a whole lot better. Now I got the windshield glass to fit in there correctly. Look at that, there's no gap anymore. Talk about making it fit nicer. Way nicer that glass fits. Look how nice that is. I took a little bit of more metal out of here for the bumper to sit in a little closer. I'm not too much fussy about the back bumper, but that front bumper's got to be changed. So after I was doing a little bit of work to that, it looks like what we're going to have to do is make some modifications to the part where it mounts, because when you go to put it in the body, right, you see that it fits better. Whoops, just dropped it there. I'm working behind a camera with glasses on, so it's not easy, but you get the idea. It sits in there better, tucks it in. That's what we want, right? We don't want it to stick. It was bulge-eyed before like that. We're going to modify the piece inside to slide this bumper back. That's acceptable. I can work with that. You know, if it sits flush pretty close, I'm okay with that. I'm not going to get too crazy, because I mean, oh my god, you know what I mean? Like I'm nuts, but I'm not crazy, like to the point where I'm going to try to win an award with this thing. It's going to sit on our dashboard. So now I'm happy with the glass. I had to trim all that out. Where they riveted on there, it literally doesn't even fit right in there. So it has to be cut away, and then I can just put some little bit of sealer there and there. And then I put the dashboard. I know I'm crazy. I'm really fussy. The steering wheel was turned crooked. Look at that. So now it's straight. So that fits in there pretty good in the chassis. So I might just paint this by hand, but it fits right in there like that. As you can see. Probably glue that back in with mono glue for now, but it fits in pretty good. So then when you take the seats, and there's a console, which has got to slide under there. The two little holes, they have these two little pins that stick up right here, and that's supposed to fit into the two little pins in the back. Well, it doesn't. So it never really fit right in the car. Now I'm not going to snap this together, but after I made some adjustments, I can actually fit this in here flat, so it fits in here tight. And then when you put the body back on, like we're gonna do, you know, the dashboard will sit in there correctly against the bottom of the windshield. You know, but it doesn't, I'm fussing with it right now, it's not fitting right, but it will fit correctly. The one thing I did notice is the seats sit up just a little bit high, but I mean, I got a beehive. I'm gonna start filing this out to try to make it fit. It looks like, you see that they should have made that narrower for the seats to fit in, but they didn't care. So I'm either cutting this out larger to drop the seats down, so the seats look like they're correct sitting in the car. But because the thing is so tiny, I don't think it's gonna make much damn bit of difference. I mean, I'm really not. I'm all in for going on details, but that's kind of insane. Plus, if it's gonna weaken the chassis, and I don't know if it's just spending all that time to try to make the seats fit in there. Is it gonna really work? It does sit flush, but the seats are just a little high. But I mean, what do you want for a Chinese-made toy? I mean, it's just, we'd be insane. So I think I'm gonna do the interior by hand, because I don't think you see the parcel, yeah, here I go again. Parcel shelf, or the speaker cover. You know where the speakers sit. Oh yeah, maybe you will. That's interesting. I didn't realize that. You might be able to see that. So when you look in the back window, you'll see the blue through the glass when I paint that. Well, that's pretty nifty. You know, I'm not going to get too psycho. I'm just not. So there we have it, huh? So now we'll pop the glass back out very carefully, like so. And then now I'm going to go soak this body because I think I'm ready now. Now I'm happy with what I got. So let's strip this sucker down to bare metal and have a look at it. Maybe just do a little bit of finish work on it, not get too psycho with it. I'm hoping that's just the paint, not the actual casting of the car, but till we get it stripped off we won't know. But the paint's getting soft, so time to dunk it, excuse me, and then I'll come back and show you the bare body before we go to paint. I'm going to see what Ray wants to do with that, how we're going to plug that up. I don't think he can weld. I don't know if he can weld. Casts aluminum, probably not, so we're going to have to probably fill this with some, but we'll see what Ray says. Alright, there you go. Next time we come back, we'll be in raw metal. Alright, I've got a magnet off my refrigerator. Nope. Well, it's not steel. It's cast aluminum. Son of a gun. Well, hot dog. Well, that's interesting. Alright, well, let's take this to Ray tomorrow and have him look at this thing and see what we can do with it and make it a show winner. So, see you in the next part. Alright, well, before I flip this car over and show you the finished product, this is the last stages of building this little mini Farah. Now, as you can see right there, I'm using the right stuff to set that windshield in there. That stuff's bulletproof, and it won't do any kind of damage to the glass. And that'll hold it in place. It actually snaps and holds pretty tight, but that's just assurance that you're not going to have any problems. Front bumper, as you saw earlier, I had to trim it and move it backwards because it stuck out so far. So in each corner holding the bumper to the front fender is more right stuff. And then the dashboard's painted turquoise, and I even did a little bit of silver there on the steering wheel. Not exactly concourse, but you know, it's so tiny, it's like, do I really want to do it? I should have probably primered it, but I painted the shifter silver. I'm going to put the little black knob on that for the auto on the floor, and then you know, I should have primered it. I kind of regretting it, but it's too late now because the paint I should have put it. There's so much metallic in it. It's hard to paint metallics, so I don't want to touch it. It's right there. So we got that and that. Back bumper's waiting. I'm not going to show you the rest of the details on it till the final show, but one more step, guys. Next video will be the finished car. See you in a little bit. Well, alright, guys. Eat your heart out, Johnny Lightning. Now, I don't have a fancy turnstile here, but I'll give you my best. I even actually decided to put the car right where the car was, sitting in my driveway in front of the shed, to show it to you. Ray did such a great job painting it. Look how nice that front bumper fits in there now. Got the turn signals painted. It's got a white license plate on the front. Ray got a little carried away. He started painting the trim on the side, but that's alright. I just took a razor knife and just took the paint off around all the trim so I didn't have to paint it. Look at all that metallic in that paint. Just a really awesome job. Look, it's even got the right stance. Just like the real car. All the glass fits in there right. I made the taillights out of a postage stamp. Not exactly perfect, but we're talking like 1 millimeter by 3 millimeters. Wasn't easy to do. I made a bunch of them so I could get the right ones, but got the original Pennsylvania license plate on the back. I'm not insane enough to do the numbers on it. That's insane. It's funny, Gail actually won a prize when she was young for how many words you could put on a postage stamp. Gail writes so tiny and neat. microscope to read. But perfect for the dash. So hopefully my YouTube channel blows up to a huge amount of subscribers. I'll have to get Johnny Lightning to make one of these for you guys. We'll even put the word Farrah on the bottom of it. Be the only one like it. It's right here, it can be done. Heck, even Jay Leno bought one of these now. I'm excited. Oh, well, another thing I wanted to show you. It's funny, it's got Firestone tires on the front and Goodyear slicks on the back, but I'm just so happy with it because that's exactly what we wanted right there. It took a lot of time to make this thing. But if you know, in the Dodge, I'm going to drop a picture in a second, but Farrah's got her optional speaker in the back. So I even went so far as to put the speaker also on the back behind the seat. Interior looks good. In fact, when you brush paint code K turquoise, it actually looks a little bit different than when you spray it. So it actually contrasts just right. So there you have it, guys. One mini Farrah 1/64 scale mini Dodge Polara 500. Fantastic. Alright, guys. Thanks for stopping by, and if you've watched the whole thing to the end, I commend you. Do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, that'd be awesome. Bye. Hey guys, you like what you see? Because if you do, do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button down there for me. Yeah, that subscribe button. Could you do me a big favor and, hit that subscribe button? Would you guys like to hit that subscribe button? Because I'll tell you what, I know I'd like to hit that subscribe button. So, alright, well, see you guys later. Bye.